So hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm taking you along with me to Aspire. So this event happened 3 weeks ago at Aspire Park. It's a GCC competition, Strongman edition, which had around 10 athletes who were competing for the first place. And it was fun, the weather was good, amazing. So they had like 5 events to go to. They had the first event, which was a deadlift ladder. So you start with the main deadlift. You go to the second around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 sessions. So if you pass the first round, you move to the second round. If you don't pass the first round, you don't go ahead. But if you pass the first round, you pass the second, you pass the third, you go all the way fourth and fifth, so you'll have completed the whole thing. So apparently he was the only one who was able to finish the deadlift ladder, to which I know of anyway, and we'll see how it's went. So watch with me as we see how the event transpired. So here we have one guy who was doing the deadlift. So he did the first one, he passed it. He went to the second one, that's him pulling it all the way good. From the second one, you move to the third one. Let's see if it moved to the third one or not. Yep. So he went to the third one. Watch with me how it goes. And then we had some entertainments in between. So the deadlifts were complete, and then as we move to the next event, there are some entertainments that are happening in between. So we had that guy from, I think it was from China, who was doing some acrobatics or whatever it is. It was fun, the vibes were immaculate, and yeah. So here we have the athletes warming up for the next competition, which you have the yoke carrying and the wheel. So you roll the wheel all the way to the end, and then you get to the yoke, you carry it all the way to the other end. No, apparently you started with the yoke. Once you get the yoke to the other end, you start with the wheel. So as you have seen, you have to finish the yoke all the way to the end. It has to cross the white lines for it to be called like a finished event. And then we had medics around, which were taking care of the athletes, and the guys that were helping load, or rather helping with the event movements, which were, they were very fast. So the guys were cheering, the audience was cheering people on, like, you have to do it, so you have to push, try to do it. But apparently these things are heavy. You have to put in a lot of energy to do some events, otherwise you're not gonna make to the top 5. One thing I have to say, strongman is actually fun. Doing it, it's actually fun. More than powerlifting, maybe, but don't misquote me anyway. So I've done, I think, 2 strongman competitions, which is literally fun. If I was to choose one competition that I have to do like as a whole, I'll choose strongman. But for the ladies, strongman, before you get there, yani, but we still do powerlifting, and it's fun as well in one way or the other. Although powerlifting, I'll say it takes so much from you than strongman would, and strongman, I'll say it has its returns than powerlifting. So he is apparently the fastest guy that was competing. He's Kenyan, representing Qatar, the GCC Strongest 2025, and the Qatar Strongest Man, I think 8 times or 9 times, 8 times in a row. So yeah, and he secured still the 2026 Qatar Strongman GCC edition, first place. So yeah. So then we had the push-up challenge. So in between the events, so the yo carry like event completed, and then there was the breaks in between. So they were like, we need 5 people to do the push-up competition, and I was like, why not? So I decided I was actually on my way to go to the bathroom, and then I was like, let me go, why not? So I went inside and we did the push-up competition. I was actually the only lady that stepped out, and I did 43 push-ups, which was apparently nice. I'll take that. Then we had the last event, which was the track pull, and apparently this track was not moving. I think it was the heaviest track that has ever been in a competition, because it wasn't moving. The firefighters track, it has to be loaded, it has to be heavy and all that. So this apparently was the heaviest track that has ever been pulled in competition, because these didn't move. Even the strongest athletes, they didn't move it even a tiny bit. We expected at least like 2 maybe athletes will move it, and but none moved it. So yeah, but still we have the strongest people around, like the athletes showed up and showed out. And yeah, we came to the end of the event. No one pulled the track, but the Kenyan guy representing Qatar still took the first win.